All right, so we bought the old dart. We got her running. Now what? Who's ready to go see what kind of mischief we can get into today? Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is old Big Mike back out here in the hoopty barn with the old 65 Dodge Dart 270 we picked up at the auction a couple weeks back, and we got her running. Got the old engine. I mean, she sounds real good. But if you remember at the beginning of that video, we went and picked that dude up. The passenger side rear wheel was locked up and would not move, and just as I suspected, had a broken spring in here. The little spring that holds the shoe to the backing plate back here, yeah, that little pin rusted off. So actually it wasn't as bad as what you might think. I mean, I got it out of there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen up this adjuster. I'm going to adjust it back down, and we're going to work it a little bit. I'm going to put me a new spring and pin on there and see if when I put that on there, maybe we can get this dude to work. I'm going to clean all that out where it was rusted to it from setting so long. And we just kind of go from there, and then we'll see if we can't get this bad boy fired up again and see if we can get her to move under her own power. How about that? I mean, we didn't buy it just to sit in here and look at. So, all right, let me get her squared away and cleaned up, and we'll go forward. So, a 4.5 inch angle grinder with a wire wheel is a beautiful thing. Yes, sir. We just went ahead and cleaned that dude up real quick, and got in some of my spare hardware, and we got we got the little pin that came loose there, and the little end pieces that had popped out. This side was still good, and we got that sucker put back together. So now I'm gonna put this drum back on here and see what we can do. Okay, so we got all that put together back here. It's kind of dark because I got her shut off, but she's turning and whatnot. But figure before I try taking this thing anywhere, I'm gonna make sure all my fluids are in there. Well, put some antifreeze in there, and well, you see how that's going. And I don't have any sealer for that, so I'm gonna have to go get some. Figure I'll go harass my son at work. You know, he works at O'Reilly's, and anyway, had to fill up my brake fluid. And I'm just going to leave it open because it's letting out little air bubbles. And we'll just let her do its thing while I'm gone. And maybe it'll help whenever it comes bleeding time. Alright, here we go. Let's go see if we can find anyone to help us out in here. Well, there's a hoodlum right there. What's up, hoodlum? I need stuff. Stop leaks, all of them. All right, let's see what he comes up with. All right, so we are back with all our fluids, and I'm actually just gonna call it a day. I've been long day. So we'll call her a day. We're going to shut down the old shop and go spend some time with Mama, and we'll be back tomorrow. All right, well, looks like the rains are coming. We're going to try and get this thing all juiced up and all that, get all the chemicals in it, and put some stop leak in that radiator and all that, and see what else we can do. I know it's got a little transmission fluid leak. It's got a little power steering fluid leak. It's got, you know, several oil leaks, but we're going to go ahead and get her warmed up and see if we can't get her stopped up. Alright, so before I get started on the fluids and stuff, I don't know why, but I just happened to think I never got into this glove box. But found some cool stuff, like the original maintenance sticker in here in the glove box lid. And what I found in the glove box was eye scraper, pen, compass, some nuts and bolts, bulb, clips, whatever, duct tape, the envelope for the title, the insurance and registration. Last time this thing was on the road was only 2015. That's really not that long. So it's no wonder this thing's in such good shape. And here is the cool thing I found. I knew there was something missing off that fender. An emblem, a V8 emblem. That is so cool. So I want to see if I can get those back on before we get this thing going too. Man, I'll tell you, this thing really does purr like a kitten. I mean, it is really nice and smooth. I can't wait to drive this sucker. Of course, I'm still going to have to pump out as much gas as I can out of the old system. I'm going to pump all that out of the old tank and all that. And I'll probably just put some gas in it a couple of times. I'll run an inline fuel filter up here. And, you know, I'll run it through a filter a few times and see how bad it is, because this thing actually has a newer tank in it. Whenever they had this thing before, you can see they put a pretty new tank in it. So I think it might be salvageable. I mean, yeah, it's been sitting 8 or 9 years, you know, but I think that I might be able to get enough gas out of there if I filter it correctly and all that. I may be able to make it work. So that's the plan. Alright, well, it said to let that stop leak go for 15 minutes with an idle, and well, I let it go 20, and nothing's overheating. Everything's running great. So, not leaking anymore. That's good. And hopefully we got some of our other leaks squared away. So, next thing I got to do is I have to address the brakes. I'm going to bleed them. I'm going to see if they work at all. And that's going to be another day, because today, that's all the time I got. I got stuff to do, so. Alright, another day, we're back. And got out my brake bleeding kit. I'm going to try to bleed these brakes. See if I can find any leaks or anything like that. That's going to be my first order of business. And then fuel system. So off I go again. Alright, this is a little message directed directly to the folks that I purchased the car from, the family. I just wanted to let you know that when I was taking off all these wheels and stuff, and I did my research, it came out with 13-inch wheels originally. These here in the front are 185/70 and at some point they had put on 14-inch wheels on the back, I'm sure to improve the stance, to give it more of a forward stance. It has 14s on the back. I bought a big stack of tires there, and I didn't find any other 13s in there. And I was just thinking, if by chance you might accidentally happen to run into the other two 13s that originally went to this car out there on the property, if you could get a hold of me through my email or leave me a comment or something, I would gladly buy them off of you, because as much as I like that, I would really like to put it back as original as possible and put the 13s on there so I can put all 4 hubcaps on there, because the original Dart hubcaps, they fit the 13-inch wheels, but they won't fit the 14-inch wheels, and it'd look kind of silly with just hubcaps on the front. So anyway, just putting that out there if you don't mind. And also to anyone else, if you happen to have a couple of 13-inch on a 5x4 bolt pattern, I could use a couple. I'd buy them from you, so leave me a comment. So, as some of y'all know who work on old stuff like this, sometimes you get thrown for a loop. I was looking under here, and I was like, why in the world would they have this aluminum duct tape on the back side of this? Well, because it's got the wrong drum on here. This drum is supposed to go on the outside and the inside with the lip, like that. So luckily this one was in the trunk, but I'm gonna have to do some cleaning on that sucker before we can go any further, and I gotta make sure this one's gonna come off. Another thing that I noticed that they did to this car is, as a lot of you older guys know, these old studs on the driver's side would have originally been right, like left-hand threaded. They would have tightened counterclockwise instead of clockwise, but they've all been changed out, and you can tell they're newer studs too, front and back, and now they're all right-hand thread. So yeah, that's cool. At least I don't have to worry about somebody else trying to change the tire and snapping off studs. Alright, so here is all of my varnish gas coming out of the fuel tank, going into a brush pile can, and I've got my electric fuel pump hooked up over there, my good gas. I got her pumping all that old garbage out. So alright, maybe we'll get this system cleaned out today. As long as she's still spitting, I'm going to let her run. Alright, so we pumped out 7.5 gallons of varnish out of the old Dart. And so now she's all tapped out. We're going to put fresh gas in it, but I thought I had a fuel filter here, and I do not. So I guess I'm gonna go harass my kid again and tell him I need a fuel filter. And so we come to the end of another day. We have the fuel filter on. We have new gas in the tank, and she's running. She is running on her own fuel tank. So that's it for today. Shoo-wee. Let's see what we can get done tomorrow. And just like that, it's another day. Man, they go by fast. Anyway, so this morning our goal is I'm going to get these old tires here off of here. I'm going to take them up to my buddy Chris up at the tire shop, because well, I don't know how long those things have been on there, and it looks like somebody put some goop in them and all that, and I don't want to try dealing with that on my tire machine. And I've got these tires that are good. These were off of one of our little Ford Rangers, And so I'm just going to take a couple of these dudes down and get them mounted on there and see if we can't get that squared away. So off we go to the tire shop. Alrighty, got the tires loaded up and got a couple of my A1 helpers going with me. We're going to go to town and get some tires squared away. So there. Alright, so we are here at Rogers Tire Shop in Gateway, Arkansas. You guys need a tire fix, come up here and see old Chris. He's good people and he'll take care of you. Alright, so we made it back and we got wheels and tires on this dude. And I honestly think she's ready to go. So I guess the only thing I'll have to do is try it. Yeah. Transmission seems to be slipping just a hair. It might still be a little bit low. But what do you expect, man? This thing hadn't been driven in how long? Go ahead and turn her around. But at least she drives out in the pasture. So. Check the transmission fluid and stuff and see what's going on with that. Now she went in the second. That's good. Yeah, this thing's been setting for an awful long time, so that's just going to take a little while. great little car. Not too fancy or anything, but man, she sure is beautiful. I love it. I think I might just have to keep this one. I don't know yet. I guess we'll have to see how it goes. Purring like a kitten.
What?
Purring like a kitten. So how about that business? Man, what a sweet car. Love this thing. Let me show you around. Went ahead and put my little FM receiver back up in here. I know I'm going to have to do quite a bit of cleanup in here. Got to get that new headliner. New covers for the visors, tighten up that old mirror, but all in all, she's not a bad old rig. She just needs a little bit of love. Okay, she needs a lot of love, but yeah, at least it runs and drives, and hey, I'm happy. So here we go. Got the old Dart running and driving. I think it took me less than 3 weeks from when I brought this dirty mess up out of the carport. So I guess that's where I'm going to end this one. So I'm going to tell y'all, thanks a lot for watching the video. If you ain't subscribed, do me a favor, go ahead and do that. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down, and leave me a comment. And I'm sure there's going to be more videos on this thing, but not sure how long it'll be before we get back to it. But till next time, y'all keep watching. I'm going to keep working.
Oh, you're gonna tear up my grass.
I want to move this thing. It had babies.
Are you serious?
Not in its belly, but it has boobies.
Oh yeah?